So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the first things I would tell you in relationships, liars are a red flag. When you see that they talk too much, when you see that, just invent. When they tell you stories, oh, it's cool. Find out. Find out. Find out. Before you commit yourself, find out. It takes another lie to keep one lie afloat. You have to lie. A lie has to sustain this lie. To sustain this lie, you have to tell another lie. So it's like a pack of cards. Once you find out one, the rest just keeps crumbling. Never be with a liar, whether pathological, manipulative, white lie, gray lies, red lies. Never be with them. From his character, he will tell you what he believes in. If he is a Christian, it is not by name, it is by character. They were called Christians because they saw that they behaved like Christ. Well, I will get to questions after. Let me see what time it is. Wow, 8:51. We have 10 minutes left. Let me give you a very practical. There was a marriage when I started practice. I wasn't really, but when I became a lawyer, when I started doing this small, there was this gentleman, the gentleman and a lady that got married. They were in the same department in church, and the man came up to her and told her that, he had been praying, you can't be in the same department, you'll be talking now. So they were cordial, sorry. And then he comes and says, he's been praying. God says, you are my wife. God says. So the girl said, are you sure? Eventually they told the pastor. The pastor was really excited. 2 ushers getting married. Very excited. So excited that the church took on 50% of the marriage cost. They got married and they moved into the house. The very next morning, the wife got up and was going around the house to check on, her new house. And she now sees a picture with a rosary, that Muslim prayer tasbih. And she was still staring at it when the man came out from the room and said, I've even been looking for you in the room. Can we talk? Can we talk for a minute? Anyway, he sat down and then he says, well, there's something he needs to tell you. I'm a Muslim. And she said, I beg your pardon. He says, I'm a devout Muslim. I'm a real Muslim. I just started attending your church because I saw you and I saw that you were a member of the church. So I joined the church just to get close to you. I joined your department and the girl said, a Muslim care. You that you lead praise worship, you that you do this, you that you... And the man said, he leads prayer meetings and, all that you pray like. He said, all the speaking in tongues, I learned it from your church. That he just learned it from people, he picked it from people picking around that he's a Muslim. But that was the love he has for her that made her do that. But that she shouldn't worry. She can go to church, that he's not going to stop her from going to church, that he will never do that. But the issue is that their children must be Muslims. And she stood and was staring. How do you tell your family that actually I just found out that he's a Muslim? Did you even notice that everybody in his house were Muslims? Did you notice that his father was an imam? You did not even check all that to ask how are you now the only Christian in the to even let that even be a small stop sign, a little flag that what's going on? You did not even bother to probe. All you just saw was both of us are in the same department, and that must be it. Ladies and gentlemen, thieves come to church, armed robbers come to church, ritualists come to church, babalawos come to church, kidnappers come to church. The fact that you are in the same church does not mean that they are all going to heaven. So, the first trait, let me not put first, one of the traits you cannot be with is someone who lies. And the person who lies, you need to find out. Don't just take everything word for word. Don't take everything word for word. You need to always find out what they are talking about. So right now, let me start. It's 8:55. We have about 15 minutes left. Let me start going to questions. I saw some questions. Oluwabs, how are you? Welcome. Ola, what was this? Ola Lua Adeoluwa or something. Welcome. Adeni.adebayo.5 says, how then would you avoid someone using your past against you after telling them about yourself at first? That one is not a problem. Whoever uses my past against me tells me that he will keep using my past against me. So I'm out of the relationship. It's not a problem. But that should not make you now start lying in relationships. I was a single father before I got married. When you meet me, if I'm interested in you, the first thing I tell you is that I am a single father. Whatever you do, some people say, but you're a Christian. How did you become a single father? You were fornicating. Now you know, I have told you I'm a single father. If it works out, fine. If it doesn't work out, fine. But you won't now start lying because you met some irresponsible person that you would tell. That tells you that that is not the kind of person you should be with. If you were to tell someone a secret and the person goes out to start telling people, so you should watch how you talk. Let the person say a little about themselves. You too say a little about yourself. You don't divulge your entire self before you even say a little about yourself. You check out those, before intimacy comes. Intimacy is not sex. Intimacy is when you are vulnerable, when you have now opened up everything to a person. The person now knows you inside out. Intimacy is not one day that you just open yourself. You start little by little. Little by little. There was a lady who got married to this gentleman, and it was such a mistake. She had told him that when she was younger, she was molested by an uncle. And one day they had a fight. And I don't know, the man just said it that, he doesn't blame her. That when he's talking about this, that, people that they've molested, he just said it. That you have been having sex from like 8 years, because she told him that I was molested while I was 8 years old. He just used it. And she came to me and I told her that, obviously, he said, you cannot be with this person. And then later, she called me and said he has come to apologize, that he said he didn't mean it, he was really angry. I said, no matter the state of your anger, you never use a person's mishap, a person's unfortunate event to abuse a person. I said, break up with him. He's not. Eventually, they got married. The marriage wasn't even up to a year. Everybody knew that she was molested at 8. He would abuse her with it from the mountaintop. So when she came to me, I said, please, I hope you're not here to say that you were right. I said, I'm not even bothered to be right. You don't listen. So you don't even deserve my time. Sorry, I'm trying to read. Kabiru Official, thank you, sir. So let me see. What's the third category? I think I mentioned that. Abeke, bespoke stores. Let me see. Dr. Kona, how are you, ma? I no longer act as shorty for people. God forgive me. I did my day for now. Yes, it is because you really don't know. Abeke, bespoke stores. Liars are killers. My ex-husband lied to me. that what he assaulted the payment of the photographer, only to find out 2 days after my wedding that he never paid. I ended up paying to avoid disgrace. The photographers of your wedding. This is fantastic. Wow. Lies. Yeah, funny about the one about the engineer. Yeah, so this network seems better. It is. Tosin from Doha. My brother, how are you? Always good to see you. Thank you for always being here. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. He's my good brother. How are you, sir? So I think I have answered everybody's question. Tete 4638. Good evening, sir. Well done. You're doing it. Oh, wow. Thank you very much. God bless you as well. So I see that there are no other questions, so I can continue. Liars are the loudest. Yes, liars always have something to say. They say the book of Proverbs tells you in a multitude of words, lies are not lacking. So when people talk a lot, I'm always afraid of people that talk a lot. You never tell them things because they talk a lot. Those are people you should avoid because they will surely lie. My people, 9 o'clock. Can I move on to the next trait? Let me see what I can do in 10 minutes. After liars, once you notice someone lies, whether manipulatively, we have talked about the two kinds of liars. The pathological liars, that is someone who lies for no reason. He lies for no reason and every reason. He just lies. They just lie. You know that this person, they call it bobo, he bobos. Then there's the manipulative liar. That the manipulative liar lies to get what he wants. They lie just to get, you see them, he just had an accident, his phone was just stolen. Just because he wants you to give him something. You need to leave liars. You need to leave them alone. There's no contemplating or explanation or prayer point that God, I know he lies, but we're praying about it, he will change. Please, there is no such thing. Leave them and move on to the next. The next trait after liars that you cannot be with are the malicious people. Malice. Malice is an intentional act. You cannot mistakenly keep malice. Malice is an intention to hurt. It is the person intended for it to happen. People that don't forgive easily. People that remember your wrong. They don't forgive. When I was younger, we called them, Bruce Lee, the Chinese people. Their motto then was revenge. I will come to avenge the death of my uncle. And the Bruce Lee look, you just snuff your nose. Revenge. People that keep record of wrong, people that don't forget or forgive easily, you need to leave them alone. Malicious people are very dangerous people. People that, when people are in relationships, after all the goodies and butterflies in the tummy, I ask them, how do you settle disputes? That is where you would know who is malicious. When there is an argument, there's someone who tries to apologize all the time, who is quick to try to get things back to normal. And then when you have someone, the moment there's anything, the first thing, they block you on social media, they block your number, you call them, they don't pick, you send messages, they don't read or respond. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not the kind of person you should be with. They are called malicious. To forgive is a task. You can't be with someone who cannot forgive. That they remember, that is how you did it. This thing, this is not your first time. You are always, they will tell you when you did it, how you did it. I'm related to someone who one day was talking and recounted and then said even that day it was raining. She knew the weather report of the day the thing happened 4 years ago. I'm like, wow. Let me check. Let me check. We're going to talk about the malicious people. I'm going to talk about it uh, on Saturday. Please tune in to our program on Saturday, Relationships 360. Let me see. Okay, where, yes, lies are the loudest. Let me move on. Ada Ozura, thank you. Well done, boss. Oh, thank you so much. Kabiru official, yes, sir. Please write on. Ada Ozura, you are so right. Talkatives are potentially pathological liars. Oh, yes. What's your take about females love being lied to while men are carried away by physical looks? Females, yes. It's not that they love being lied to, but they like hearing stories being larger than life. It is their problem. It is not my problem. If you like believing the impossible, it is your issue, not my issue. Men are carried away by physical looks. Yes, it is something that will catch the attention of a man. Something must. In every society, in every genre, in every animal, something catches the attention of a lion before it locks on a prey. Something catches the attention. And yes, who will not look at beauty? Who would not look at something different? But beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some like bow legs, some like K legs, some like straight legs, some like rickets. You understand? It is in the eye of the beholder.